So this tutorial is really important because this allows you to set your first follow-up message to people who are on your email list. And we're going to start on our home page for this, and we're going to go into messages, and we're going to go into follow-up. Now there are two separate things that we're going to talk about actually in this tutorial. There's the follow-up and there's the broadcast. The follow-up, and you should have at least one follow-up message. The follow-up is a series of messages that are going to be sent out to your subscribers at different intervals of time. So you may have one subscriber that's gotten the first 5 and then they'll get 6 and 7, but you may have another subscriber at the same time who is getting, say, message 10, 11, and 12. It depends when they join, and we're going to set it up so it will deliver to them at certain intervals. The broadcast is going to allow you to email to all subscribers at once, and we're going to go into that later. Let's go ahead right now and take a look at our follow-ups. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on Add New Follow-Up Message. Now, we've done something really similar to this before. We've gone ahead and added our template, and then we've also done our plain text message as well. I'm going to go ahead and insert my subject, which is, "Thanks so much for your order." And I'm going to go ahead and choose my template, and I'm going to tell it to load the template, and I'm going to go in, of course, and edit this as usual. I can add my links, whatever template you decide on, that's how you can do it. And then of course down here we can click on preview. I can also add a plain text message, and this is for people who don't have the HTML enabled on their email. Now a lot of people like to actually add to this as well, and they may want to put, say, another few items that they are offering for sale or for free in the email, and that'll keep people clicking and coming back to your company. And then when we get to the bottom, we can attach a file if we want, and it's going to ask if we want this one to be sent immediately. Now you'll notice this one says number 1 sent immediately, and if I click up on the top, it tells me this is number 1. As I do more, it's going to number them accordingly. So down at the bottom, I can do a preview, and I can go ahead and save my message. It'll also give you the option to track how many people click on the website links that you send in this message. So that's a really helpful tool. And if you use this, remember that Aweber is going to get back to you with all of your statistics on how many people opened it, how many people put it as spam, unsubscribed, and clicked on your links. So let's go ahead and save the message. And as you can see now on our follow-up messages page, we have what our message number is, the interval, in other words, how often it's going to be sent, text or HTML when it was modified, if I left the click tracking on, the subject, how many people have reported it as spam. You can send a test email, and you can also copy it so you can just change it in another email that will be slightly different. Now, as I said, you're going to want to have at least one message in here, because if you don't have at least one message in here, then Aweber is actually going to default to saying that you have 1,000 messages, and then it'll only send messages, only if you number them message 1002 and up, to the people who are on that email list. So it's a weird thing, it's kind of a pain, but just keep this in mind. That's why you should have at least one follow-up message. Here at the bottom we also have a campaign sharing option, and this allows us to send a sequence of messages that will be copied from one list to a second list. So let's say for instance that you've sent a follow-up message to the people who have ordered things for free from you. You may want to send them a follow-up message that says, "Thanks so much for your order. Click on our link again and it will take you to a new offer." You can also decide to go ahead and send this to a second list, for instance, all of your clients who have already bought a product or service. So you can click it on, you can do follow-ups only, broadcast only, or for the follow-ups in broadcasts. You can also load a campaign that you've already had by putting your campaign code in here. Now there is a warning on the bottom that if you load any shared follow-ups, it's going to erase any of the messages in your list that you have already defined. Also, if you load a shared follow-up or broadcast, that'll erase any custom fields or global fields defined for that account. It's basically going to go in and overwrite everything. So make sure you want to definitely do that before you load a new campaign. So that's how we take care of doing our first follow-up message, and I hope this has helped you out a lot. Thanks for listening.